Answer my question or I'm going to kill you. The next week, oh, I'm going to kill you. Okay.
I killed you.
You're dead now.
Aha!
No, I'm the
I
vampire.
Kill you.
I dressed in a gold suit and punched you very hard. Go, bud, go!
Hello,
Go, Speed
everybody,
Racer,
and welcome.
go.
Okay. You're throwing in Speed Racer references, and you're throwing me off. Hello, everybody. I'm not Speed Racer, but I wish I was. To my up here is Racer X, and over here is no, this is Leon Robinson. I don't know any other Speed Racer characters right now. This is Town. I'm Bud Robinson. Say hi, Leon.
Hi, Leon.
So we got some shows to talk about. Collision happened. Dynamite happened.
Let's just talk about Collision. Was there anything on Collision that you... I thought Collision was better this week.
Yeah, 100%. Yes.
Enjoyed it.
Yep.
The CM Punk thing at the beginning was... Once I saw the character, I knew it was him. Once I saw the guy...
You know why I think it was better? And it's because Punk wasn't on it very much. Like, he was on for, like, the first 5 minutes. That's my hot take. I'm sorry, Leon. I just, like... They focused so much on Punk, and I'm glad they didn't this time because they have so much talent that we're able to shine tonight.
Well, the problem with Punk on that show is that he's like in the opening, and then he'll have a segment like after the first or second match, and then he's got a segment in the middle, and then he always is in the main event. So it might be overkill of Punk. So that may be why.
I'm not saying I don't want to see Punk. I'm not saying get him off the show. I'm not saying that, but. Like you said, he's all over the show, and it's not giving other talent a chance to shine.
Yep.
Like fucking, oh my god, like fucking Bullet Club Gold. They are...
Their entrance is awesome.
Juice Robinson is a fucking insane man, and I love it. I'm here for it.
Juice Robinson reminds me of Pillman. He really does.
He does.
They need to do more with those four. I hope they do, but... See, that's all I remember about Collision. I don't remember anything else.
They had the in-ring promo, which was pretty awesome.
What were you going to say, Leon?
No, I was just going to say, I feel like Juice, like, hyperdoses on caffeine or some other stimulant before he comes out.
It's very possible.
Methamphetamine.
It's a very powerful drug.
I don't want to cast aspersions. That's why I mentioned caffeine by name. I mean, it could be fucking, I don't know.
Anything.
But he is just, yeah. He is amped the hell up when he walks through those curtains.
I do have one criticism of Collision this week. Yes. Dynamite last week, they had the whole flipping card planned out. When they first started the show, it was like this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and like they knew all... This week on Collision, it was like Miro's in action, Powerhouse Hobbs is in. They had like two matches planned, and I'm like, I'm sure Kevin Koo is amazing, but I don't want to sit through why give us 2 minutes of a match with Powerhouse
Let's go,
Hobbs and
Kevin.
I would love to see him more. Kevin. He seems awesome, but like, present him some.
Probably the best like hometown nobody response they've gotten.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that show. Let's talk about Dynamite, bud.
Let's talk about Dynamite.
They went a million miles an hour tonight. That's how I felt, and they were setting shit up. The first match was super weird because it wasn't an ending. It was just, we need to get heat on this. Let's go do this. We need to do this. We need to do that. And everything tonight just felt, which isn't wrong. Because if you ever, like, I think back to WrestleMania 15 when Austin beat The Rock and he drove the beer truck down, that entire show of Raw was nothing other than build for that show, which is what you want to do because this is a huge show. You have 80,000 plus people in this arena. You want to get people to buy it. So that's kind of what I felt, but it came out fast. And that first match was like not a match. Yeah. Which was just a fucking brawl, which I liked. I thought it was good.
But it wasn't a match.
It did what it was meant to do.
Exactly.
I thought every single segment, save for the first one, which is an odd thing for me to say considering Kenny Omega was there, I think was like amazing. Like I was impressed with almost every single segment on this show. You are right though; it was a lot. Like it was a lot like crammed into a small space, and it was also like, hey, Wembley is going to be 80,000. Hey, Wembley is going to be 80,000 people. Hey, Wembley, which is great. Like I understand that.
I'd tout the fuck out of that though too. I'd say that whenever I could, because that's such a big thing. I don't think we understand how big that is.
Yeah.
This is bigger than WrestleMania 32. So like they really have.
I'm not
hit it.
I'm not railing them on that. I just think it's funny because like I swear to God, Renee Paquette said 80,000 fans like 1,000 times tonight. And she interviewed everybody. It was ridiculous.
Ortiz and Santana are back. I like that. I think them being with the Blackpool, I like those guys, and I feel like they've never gotten a run because it's always like we pull the rug out and they become insignificant.
They've been lost in the shuffle all the time.
And they become like your basic heel bad guys who do something really bad and then get beat up by the faces. So I hope they get a run.
For a long time, they were just like like the Chris Jericho's bodyguards.
Inner Circle.
Yeah.
Inner Circle.
Yeah, Inner Circle. So like they didn't really catch any heat there.
I have a complaint about AR Fox. Why did we do the whole thing where he build up the whole feud and then pull him out of the match?
Visa issues, I think.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw a thing online that Tony posted, I think on Twitter, saying I'm gonna have to change more than one match because of
That's why.
issues.
But I know that's why Phoenix can't be there.
Yeah,
because he's trying to get citizenship in the United States, so he can't leave. But I don't think that's gonna matter. I think that's still gonna be a great match.
I'm bummed. It would have been cool to see AR Fox on that stage, but like,
yeah,
and also to be in Mogul Embassy.
Christian talking shit about Nick Wayne's dead dad. Cool.
How does he get all of these guys with dead fathers? How?
Cool. Just cool. I heard it. I was like, oh my god, you're such an asshole, but I love it.
And the whole time I was remembering Nigel McGuinness on Collision saying Father of the Year recipient towards Christian. And like, yeah, okay.
Billy Gunn coming back. I called that.
Mm-hmm.
I called Billy Gunn coming back a while ago. That I think they're going to win. I think they should. I don't think there's any reason they shouldn't win. I think that's a hell of a story, and I think it's a hell of a feather in the cap of Billy Gunn. And I think you give it back to the Blackpool, or not Blackpool, whatever they're called. Malachi and those guys. Give it back to them pretty quick.
House of Blackpool?
Yeah,
House of Blackpool.
House of Blackpool Combat Club?
Oh my god, are we coming up with mashup stables like WWE did? It's the corporate ministry. House of
I like the corporate ministry. That is one of my favorite theme songs ever, so shut your mouth.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, the theme is pretty fucking dope.
It's really good.
Again, not railing. It was just...
I don't know if that was it, though. I don't know.
Gibberish Latin.
I don't know what you just did, because that didn't sound like a song. That sounded like you choking on a bumblebee. That is not it. That is not that song.
That's my favorite part.
Stop eating bumblebees, Leon. Okay. So listening to the promo. Shut up, Leon. Listening to the promo that Roderick Strong had. He said something like, "We're going to see the true colors or who they're really side on at the end of that show." Adam Cole's turning heel.
I mean, it certainly seems that way.
I think so because MJF is having this weird.
I don't want them.
Oh my god, though! But Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and the Embassy or whatever.
The Kingdom.
The Kingdom. That's the Kingdom, not the Embassy.
Whatever. I think Roderick Strong with the Kingdom is going to be good by themselves.
But I think if you put Cole in there and give him that, he'll be a great heel. And then I think you can solidify MJF as this weird ass tweener baby fake because you can't keep him heel anymore. What was the biggest pop on the night when he started hopping around like a fucking kangaroo? The whole been fucking nuts. I mean,
it's true.
That's the match. That's the money match, and I don't know. Like Adam Cole I didn't feel like they did enough to build him, but it doesn't matter now because they did, because he started hanging out with MJF, and this is, like I said, it's such a unique build. It's kind of like Warrior Savage back in like '92 when they had a match at SummerSlam.
I think
kind of that weird build.
The intriguing part about that, especially tonight, is they kept showing all the footage. Like they were showing all the footage where MJF was being shitty.
He almost turned.
Where Cole,
he almost turned.
Exactly. But then you got to see the reaction of MJF, which was like, yeah, I fucked up, but I actually trust this guy now. And Adam Cole's immediate response was just defensive. We're like,
he's turning.
Shit.
He's turning.
I really hope not.
But
I
it's
really
a swerve.
hope we're wrong, but I think that's
it's
what it is.
It's a swerve because what we all expect is MJF to do something really bad. Do I think Adam Cole is going to win the AEW championship? I don't. But we can talk about that in a bit. But I do think he's going to turn. I think something really fucking weird is going to happen. But let's talk about that pay-per-view, because I don't know that I've ever been this fucking stoked for a pay-per-view. I'm super fucking excited for this show. Like, amped to the max.
Yeah. I gotta move my light because it's in the way.
You have the card up, or should I pull the card up?
Well, pull the card up. I have my write-up of the card and what I think it is, so I might miss something. And it's certainly not in any particular order. So let's start with the Better Than You Bebe versus Aussie Open for the ROH Tag Team titles. What are the odds that they win this?
I think high. I think they're going to win it. I think they win it, and then the whatever happens at the end makes it even more fucking wild. Because then they might still have to defend the belts or something. I think they're going to win this match. I don't know what else you do. Because to me, if they win this match and they work really well together, then we're really setting the table of, hey, they really are going to go to this main event. They're not going to fuck each other over. Yeah. So I think they're going to win. I think they win. I think they win.
You could also plant some seeds of dissension. Like maybe we see a little bit of what Roderick Strong is up to, or maybe we see Adam Cole starting to slip and showing his true colors or something like that. And that's the thing. That's the one tiny thing. And then that solidifies Aussie Open as a tag team as well, because then you have this tag team that's they were able to capitalize on this tiny mistake on two former world champions and they get the win over. So
that's not bad either. That one could go either way. I think they're going to... Leon, what do you think of that one?
I think they're going to retain.
Okay. What's next, bud?
And there will be possibly some sort of, miscommunication, misunderstanding, or something meant to look that way at the end of the match.
I just think if they do that, it's so fucking basic. Because every time you have a situation like this, especially in WWE, what happens? They're really good buddies, and then they have some kind of miscommunication and it's a downfall. And I just kind of go, I don't know if they're going to do that. We'll see. They could. You guys could be totally right, guys and gals. But I don't know. I think they're going to.
I don't think they're going to put those belts on them, but I think they'll come close. But something is going to happen.
Sorry, go ahead.
Leave bad blood in somebody's mouth. Sorry.
I also think that if you put the belts on Better Than You, Baby, it's difficult for me to see how they're gonna make that an important. If they do that and then the two turn on each other in whatever configuration at the end, it's difficult for me to see how you capitalize on that, because then it's very complex.
That's true. True. But it'd be, if they won the belts and then did that, you'd be like, what the fuck are they doing? So it would surprise you, but it'd almost be a swerve for the sake of a swerve. Maybe Roderick Strong and those guys get involved and something really, they screw them out of the match or something. Or maybe they'll come out.
Maybe the thing that happens is that Roderick Strong sets Adam Cole up to he knows how to push Adam Cole's buttons, so he does something to push his buttons to make him actually swerve on MJF, and it turns out no, not even that is gonna break these two up. I don't know. Probably
That's
not
wishful
that.
thinking. I could see a situation where I can't believe we're talking about the fucking match and the opening thing this much. What if Roderick Strong comes down and costs Adam Cole the match?
Yeah.
And then at the end of the night, helps him somehow. I almost feel like if you're going to turn Adam Cole heel, though, he's almost got to win that match. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Let's not go there.
So let's do Eddie Kingston and the Lucha Brothers minus Rey Fenix, and the Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, and Trent Beretta, versus Blackpool Combat Club, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta. And now we know it's Santana and Ortiz.
Damn powerful.
I think like Blackpool Combat Club is on the top of their game right now, which almost means they can eat the win. I think this is a great way to set up more Eddie Kingston and Claudio. You can set up Lucha and the Santana and Ortiz.
Who do you think is going to win? The Blackpool?
Yeah, no, I think they're going to lose.
I think that as I look at this match, there's a few things that we need to see. One of them is we need to see Orange Cassidy show that like hardcore demonic side, like he can fucking, when it's time to go, he can go.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I want to see. More than that, the biggest thing I want to see out of this match is I want to see the Best Friends finally get a fucking win somewhere important, because they've never fucking had one.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the things I look at in this match, it's like the Best Friends need this match more than anybody, because they're on the cusp. But they're on the cusp because they're Orange Cassidy's buddies, and he has completely left the stratosphere where they are. Yeah, they're just kind of just lackeys.
This parking lot brawl, and then also like the promos leading into it, have sort of put Chuck Taylor and Brent Toretta. Brent Toretta. Trent Beretta have put them back on the radar, so I feel like if they don't win,
they
it's
do
hard
need
for
this
them
win.
to vary. I think so.
They do need this one.
As does Eddie. I think everybody in this match needs this win, or everybody on that side that's not on Blackpool. Blackpool doesn't.
I would agree.
Blackpool
No.
Blackpool has this funky thing where like they can lose and they have no momentum loss. They just move on to the next thing, and it's just still fucking great.
I don't want to see Santana or I don't want to establish
credibility.
Yeah,
I don't want to see
that's
Santana
true.
or Ortiz eat a pin. It needs to be, and I think Wheeler eats the pin, even though he always eats the pin. But that's really building. Or maybe what if Wheeler fucks up and like Claudio gets pinned? Like something happens, like where Wheeler accidentally hits him or some shit, and Claudio gets pinned.
I could see that. My thought is that Orange pins Moxley, and that sets up a death match at All Out between those two. Obviously,
Take no money.
Not just not. Like
I don't think you put a death match. I guess you could. Why the fuck couldn't you?
All Out.
It just seems like a short build.
Wembley is not a great place for it, with all those eyes on it, and I think All Out is a good place for it. I think and I also think there's build there, like we've seen.
They've been building it, yeah.
Some building, yeah. It's not a ton, but like you also have a show in between.
If Orange Cassidy beats Moxley clean,
mm-hmm.
then he's in the fucking stratosphere. Like that would be big for him, and it wouldn't hurt Mox.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just, but like the thing with Orange Cassidy right now is we know he's got insane charisma. He's funny as fuck. His character is unique, and he can work. But can he be like that? You know, you think about like when The Rock was getting big in WWF, and he had to have that match with Foley where he destroyed his head with a chair. Like that mean streak. Like when you're on the top, you have to have that ability to kind of do crazy shit and kind of go over the top. We haven't seen that from Orange yet.
That's true.
So my hope is that we can kind of bring that out a little bit. I think Mox is perfect. I think Mox could make him a huge star too. I mean, he is a star. He's arguably one of their top baby faces, you know, but
I just want to time out for a moment. Leon, your hair is on point. Spot on. Well done. We can carry on. I just wanted to pay a little compliment because you have.
Did you do your hair or did you just wake up? What's next, bud?
Jericho and Ospreay. Let's talk about that. I think this is going to be better than we expect.
I think you're right.
Last week we were like, oh, Ospreay's going to have to dial it down, but like they put so much fire in that promo, and
I think they moved it away from what we thought it would be
mm-hmm.
of Ospreay trying to have a crazy 5-star match, and they took it to more of we're going to beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah. Yeah, different kind of match. That's a very good point.
You think Ospreay is going to leave New Japan?
Oh God, I don't think so. I've read interviews with him where he seems very keen on staying with New Japan. But
I mean, he could walk right into AEW and be a main eventer.
Yeah.
And we're about to fill an 80,000 seat arena.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm starting to think that he might make that move, and that would be. And
the other part of that though is he's stationed in Japan, so like if he does
he'd
that,
he'd
have to move, and he might not be keen on that.
And I'm just also thinking out loud, like if he comes, he's going to be a Dynamite guy, and your balance is starting to get really fucked up because Dynamite has going to put on 400 5-star matches, and Collision's gonna have 500 squash matches. I don't know. Whatever. What's next?
Just kind of what they do already.
Wait, we didn't even talk about who's going to win this. Never mind. We got to stay on this one. Stay on this one. Jericho. We're still on the Jericho Ospreay.
Again,
I think Jericho wins.
Anywhere.
I think Jericho wins. I think Jericho needs a win.
Yeah.
Because he's eaten a lot of L's as of late.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a win for him would be good. Then again, if Ospreay wins, he can say he beat all those guys in 2 months. Maybe he does.
Which is maybe why he is doing the match. And I also think I don't know. Like Ospreay doesn't really have a lot to lose here, but neither does Jericho. Like if he lost here, it would be just another mark on like him going down the ladder some more. And yeah, he can still stay that scumbag that he's always been, but like you can play with that a little bit more. And like
he got a pretty good babyface pop tonight.
That's true. Yeah. And
I almost think they're going to turn JAS face. Something weird's going to happen there because I think he's going to do a little more to kind of make some of these guys than he did when Inner Circle kind of went bust.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Could go either way.
Yeah. Let's talk about Samoa Joe versus CM Punk. I had to be honest with you, I don't really care about this match. I really don't.
Fuck. Punk's gonna win. Punk's gonna win.
I just want to see those two beat the fuck out of each other.
But I'm struggling to even care about that, Leon, because it's just like this is a tale of two worlds. The way they've built this pay-per-view, and which show have they done a better job building the pay-per-view on? Dynamite. Which matches are I excited about? Dynamite. I look at this and I'm kind of like, okay, cool. Whatever, it's two big names, but I don't feel like they're just banking on history, and their history's amazing. I'm not going to knock their history. I'm not going to knock what they've done. They're both really, really incredible. But I'm sitting here like, why should I care? If you haven't really put enough effort into it and you've just kind of done half-ass shit. And that's how I feel.
This particular match, I think it was such a short build. In any other pay-per-view, might still be awesome. Like, might still be the focal point of the pay-per-view. But look at how much storytelling they've done with Better Than You, Baby. Look at how much story... Even the Eddie Kingston and Lucha Brothers and Best Friends thing. Like, they've done some work here.
I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm going to tell you straight up. Do you know what should be the main event of All In? Or All Out? Which one? Which one's the following week?
All Out. Yeah, All Out is next week.
So All Out, the one in Chicago.
Yeah.
The one in Chicago.
Yeah.
The main event should be Punk and Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Like that's where they should have put the build for that one. Yeah. Now you
Which
can't
is what I thought they were going to do.
But you can't go to Wembley and not have a CM Punk match. Yeah. You can't justify that. I mean, not with the money you're paying him and the ratings he brings in, you got to fucking send him because he's your biggest star. You can't argue that. Nobody's a bigger star. Nobody's a bigger draw than him. I won't argue that point. MJF's getting close, but he's not there yet. So like you have to send your top guy. Punk's your top guy. I get it, but you put him in this match and it's just like I don't know. We haven't had enough time. You're right. There just wasn't enough build.
Maybe it goes to a time limit draw. I could see that.
I I hope not. That's wasting a lot of fucking time.
Yeah, but I think if they do that, then you have it again at All Out. Which you're right. Like at this point, why did you bother? You should have put CM Punk with somebody else. Or Samoa Joe.
I don't think you can have that be a 60-minute time limit draw.
Jesus,
You're going to take an hour for this fucking match. It's a world title. It's got 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. So I think Punk's just going to win. I think Leon, you would agree that Punk's going to win.
Yeah, I don't see why they would even think about putting it on Joe. Don't get me wrong, I love Joe. He's
Joe
fucking
too.
great.
He's fucking great.
But it's like, which would make less sense? The surprise of Shida winning the women's title a few weeks back, or Joe winning the real world's title at this show. I mean,
it would make no sense.
Forgot that
neither
the world
make
title was on the
any
line.
fucking sense. So.
Yeah. Especially Joe already has a title. Like,
I can't believe like how flat this match is.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's so.
Especially with the two involved.
Mm-hmm.
So flat.
Yeah.
It's just like fuck. So I don't know.
Answer my question, or I'm gonna kill you the next week. Oh, I'm gonna kill you. Okay.
I killed you.
You're dead now. No, I'm the vampire.
I dressed in a gold suit and punched you very hard. Just fucking.
Okay.
I don't know.
Sure.
It's like a WWE feud.
All we're missing is a multi-pin match with terrible rest holds.
Hey.
And floppy.
No, actually, I heard he was going to be there. He got his visa in order.
I'm a bitch.
I just want you to know, Leon, Floppy's sitting in a closet collecting dust next to the old World Championship belts I have. It's still there. And it still has a Lemmy beard. I might email that to you.
Why wouldn't it?
Yo, Leon, have a dildo. Merry Christmas. I just worried that if I did that, you would actually start talking to it and walking around with it like in real life and actually turn into Leon.
But if he was going to do it anywhere, where better than Vegas? Where better?
Okay, well, now I'm even more concerned. Next match, bud.
You go on. I can get one of those Busker squares down on Fremont. Just talk to me and my giant dildo.
Floppy and Leon.
I can make some fucking money doing that.
Could. Yeah.
Wow, what a scam. Okay, bud, what's next?
The Golden Elite of Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, and Hangman Adam Page versus Bullet Club Gold, which is Juice Robinson and Jay White in this case, and Konosuke Takeshita. Good God.
Takeshita.
Take a shit. As MJF said, take a shit.
I don't know.
I am under the impression that Takeshita needs to win this match.
I sort of think I was thinking the same thing of Bullet Club, honestly. Like,
they
not necessarily that they need it, but like they have. The build here is kind of lacking as well. So like to see.
No. I think the build here is Kenny Omega build where these are my friends. This is what we're doing. You know, that type of thing. And I think they've told a great story with Don Callis. But yeah, it's kind of weird. It's been a very weird build to get here.
I'm in this case, I'm not knocking it. I think that there was a short build, but I think in this case it's a step ladder. It's a step on a ladder to a bigger story. Like this is just part of a story that's going to be playing out further on down the line.
That is how I feel about it too. But I think Takeshita really needs a fucking win.
Yeah.
Like he's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he signed with him and everything is just like awesome. They put him with Don Callis, awesome. But let's actually start to do some shit.
Mm-hmm. I could see that. What about you, Leon? Who do you think's going to win this?
I think this will be another one where Kenny will prevail. Based on nothing, just gut feeling.
Yeah.
Just gut feeling.
It is Kenny Omega. Like he's He should win all the matches.
The god of pro wrestling.
He's the god of pro wrestling.
The god of pro wrestling.
So, next up, we have Hikaru Shida versus Toni Storm versus Saraya versus Britt Baker for the AEW Women's World Championship. I think Shida's going to keep it. I think
Leon, what do you think, Leon?
I think Tony's going to get it back.
I think
that's what I think.
I think Saraya's going to win. If you've been paying attention to Collision and watching Toni Storm, she's like losing her mind because she doesn't have her belt. Mm-hmm. There's a story right there. Mm-hmm. That's why I see Saraya.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was thinking that she's. That's why I kind of thought that they were leaning towards her getting it back.
It would be a very short reign for Shida, but it was such a random reign to begin with. I don't know. I don't know if the bigger story is. Well, the biggest story there would be. If nobody picked Britt.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I chuckled over that.
Yeah. They just haven't done enough with her. She's just in a really weird spot. She's a star, and they needed to turn her. She needed to turn on Jamie Hayter, never did, and she's just spinning her wheels. I don't know if Saraya wins. I think you can tell a hell of a story.
And that got her in a holding pattern until Jamie's back.
I don't even know if that's it anymore. I just don't think they know what they're doing. Because if Jamie comes back, Britt's a face now. Britt's like their top baby. So it's just like, what the fuck? I don't know.
I don't think. I don't see them splitting them up anytime soon. Like Hayter and Baker. I just don't see it. So. Like because of what you just said, like Hayter is a big face. Baker is a big face.
I think Hayter could just be automatically a face just by showing up and being with Britt at this point. No? Especially
when she gets back
off of an injury.
But
I think if coming back off an injury too.
Mm-hmm. I think if Saraya wins this, I think that story you could tell with her and Tony, and then Ruby trying to keep the peace might not be bad because they can all do stuff. They're all pretty good.
Until everything falls apart.
You could also tell that story just by like Saraya doing some funky shit during the match.
That's what I was going to say.
Shida still wins, but like Saraya like tries to pin before Toni Storm does or something like that. And then they can just play off that, like do some gaslighting, do some whatever. Like you can really play with that because I think Toni Storm is kind of in a perfect place right now that you can tell pretty much any story coming out of this match.
Yeah, the fact that they got her was huge because she's fucking incredible. Mm-hmm. I hope this match gets time, and I hope this match they just let them go. Mm-hmm. That's what I want because they're all good. Hey, time out. Did we all see that Terry Funk died?
What?
Yeah.
Terry Funk died.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he died today. 79. I don't know any details beyond that, but I know Mick Foley is a wreck.
He's been going to see him. Like regularly.
He's been in bad shape. Yeah. I don't. Mm-hmm. This wasn't one of those where I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it. It was. I think it was a little bit like.
No, he's been a rough shape for a while now.
We saw this coming, so
yeah.
Still sucks. Probably one of the greatest to do it. You know, as long as he did. That man was crazy. That man was fucking crazy.
Yeah. How many last matches did he have?
Oh, 5,000.
Jesus Christ. I didn't know that.
How many retirements did he have?
You didn't see the opening of Dynamite, did you?
Apparently not.
Because they had a in memory of thing for him.
In memoriam.
Yeah. So, okay. Matches. Now that I've depressed you.
No, I'm sad. So Darby and Sting versus was AR Fox and Swerve Strickland. Now it's Christian and Swerve Strickland. Which, if you think about it, is more balanced. Because now you have like an
that would have been such a star-making moment for AR Fox. So that's my only.
Yeah.
That's my only issue with it.
I really don't think this was the thing, but it turned out okay.
I think it's gonna fuck AR Fox in the long run.
Yeah.
I think he's just gonna shoot down the card and kind of be forgotten.
I hope not, because AR Fox.
I do too. He's great, but I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen.
He is. I mean, he is. They're not. They haven't like erased him from the equation though. Like you still have AR Fox has allegiance to, or rather Darby has allegiance to AR. So like he's still attached to somebody who is a pillar, who's like a big name in AEW.
Yep.
He has that going for him.
There's no way Sting loses in front of 80,000 people.
I mean, I don't think he's going to eat the pin.
I don't think so.
It's not a pin; it's a casket match.
Oh.
Everyone has to be locked in a casket.
Everybody? Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's everybody. There's no way he's going to lose.
I mean, and it is a coffin match. I feel like I don't think Darby has lost a coffin match, has he?
No.
So and I would keep. There's no reason for Christian and Swerve to win this match.
Swerve,
there's no reason.
My God, Swerve is doing some of his best work right now. It's just
they're really letting him go, and they need. I still want him to beat Orange Cassidy. That hasn't changed. That's the guy that I want. I want him to beat Orange Cassidy and take that belt and go push Orange Cassidy up the card. Give him a run with that, and then he'll be up the fucking card. Because I'm just like I'm looking at him and like. Could you imagine him healing it up like that, getting into a little feud with MJF, babyface? Whew. Amazing.
Or even just him and Orange Cassidy for the AEW World Title at Wembley next year. Like, just like you could do amazing things with those two.
There's a lot, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. But they don't need to win this. They don't need to win this match.
No.
There's no reason for them to win this match. You don't take Sting to Wembley in front of 80,000 people and make him job. I imagine he would, but like, and that'd be some massive heat. But man, if he wins, that pop will be. And I don't think Sting's ever fought in front of that many people.
Well, no,
he had that match in Mania. He had that match in Mania, but that wasn't like a crazy Mania. That was like a 50,000 Mania or 60. So really, like 40 or 30 or 40. So
I mean, it is the biggest show, and in wrestling history. And I was reading a thing. We can talk about this later if we want to, but like I was reading a thing on how WWE comes up with their numbers, and it's everybody who buys a ticket, coupled with anybody who's in the building, like staff, people who are just wandering around for whatever reason. Plus anybody who's outside, like, because they might scalp a ticket or they might get a free ticket from the box office or whatever. It's like they're like pulling in and they count the like the luxury boxes even if they're not full. And I don't remember where I was reading this, but they're like nobody counts those numbers. Nobody except WWE, so they can inflate their numbers, and like that's their. Anyway. I was like, of course they do.
What's next, bud?
The Acclaimed versus the House of Black for the Trios titles. I think the
Acclaimed's got to win.
I think
they got to win.
Yeah.
The alternative is that Billy Gunn actually has changed his mind and he does not want to wrestle anymore because he's made it pretty clear that this is his last go. His last go. Even though in every other interview I've ever seen him in, he's like, yeah, I'm going to keep doing this until I'm dead. Like,
yeah. He is a huge boost on TV for them. His promo cutting has never gotten any better.
No. Tonight's wasn't bad. It was pretty good.
He stumbled over himself a couple times. That's just kind of what Billy does. But I think they win this match, and I think the pop, the rap on the way out at Wembley. Ooh, I cannot fucking wait.
Yeah, but how big are the bullets going to be that Tony is sweating when they're going out there? He's gonna be like, oh my God, don't say something horrible. Like,
I'm sure it'll be pre-approved at that point. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
But they're gonna win. They have to win.
I think so. Unless
even Leon agreed.
I mean, maybe if the Acclaimed turns on Daddy Ass, you can tell a story there. But like at Wembley, why would you do that at Wembley? Like, you don't need 1,000.
Can you imagine the pop and the celebration if they win those fucking belts? Like, and a show like this, what are you going for? You're going for pops and celebrations. That's what you want. They got to pose. Hogan's got to pose.
If you're WWE, then it's, try to confuse the crowd.
In WWE, it was Leon's got to pose. More so Floppy than Leon.
Yeah. Well,
Floppy's got a pose.
50-50. There are the pythons.
Earthworms.
So now we have the big one. MJF versus Adam Cole. Baby.
They have done such a good job building this. I'm so excited for this match.
I have no idea who's going to win this. I am inclined to think it's MJF because I think they're going to carry this over into, like, I think they're going to carry his reign over into 2024. But they've done a lot of work to make it seem like MJF is at his most vulnerable right now.
I would be stunned if MJF lost this match. I would be fucking stunned. Now, Adam Cole would be an amazing champion.
Mm-hmm.
And that wouldn't be bad. But Adam Cole would have to turn heel. I think Cole's going to turn heel either way. But I could see something happening, like in my head, like Strong will come out, do something, they'll try to fuck MJF over, then he'll pull out the ring and drop him. And if MJF does, or if Cole does something to cheat, and like Roderick comes out, he turns heel. When he pulls that fucking ring out and puts it on, what's going to happen to that place? It's going to go fucking nuts. And that's what I think is going to happen. Something like that. And then we can even, you can have a rematch. You can do more because you can be like, I can't believe you turned on me and I trust you, blah, blah, blah. The story here is so amazing. Mm-hmm. It's so amazing. It's been so well done. For all we know, they could go out there and MJF could win clean and they could hug at the end.
It's just that's what I'm pulling
very, for. Very possible.
Mm-hmm.
Very possible.
I hate the old wrestling trope of, ooh, tag team. These guys don't like each other. Oh, they're starting to like each other. Oh, they're starting to like each other. Oh, there's a turn. I hate that trope. It's like, in particular, I hate it, I think, because in relation to, like, looking at how it can be done otherwise, now, for this long, I'm like, oh, yeah, these guys could stay together. Having and how amazing is it? Like, how many times has WWE had to tried to have like a face versus face match for a title? And how many of those are as successful as this? I would say none. They've had some good ones, none of them as good as this. Because you have two people who are
so
buddy,
when you say face versus face match,
yeah,
and I think back, so I'm thinking Mania. You had Warrior Hogan.
Of course, you have some,
but that was a like a torch passing thing, and that match was fine. They did a good job with that. Afterwards, they fucked it up. The ones I really think of are Cena Michaels and Cena Triple H.
That is a good point. Yeah,
and yeah, I guess that one, but that one's muddied because of the ending. Austin turned heel. But I look at like Cena Michaels. The reason that didn't work very well, it was a fine match.
Mm.
They didn't have anybody else. There was nobody. There was fucking nobody. Like, everybody was hurt and they had no stars. Same thing when Triple H went up there. They had no stars. They had Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
You only had Triple H. So I look at this. It's kind of it feels different.
Mm-hmm. It's a thing.
Anything could happen in this match.
It's true. It's a thing they're doing by choice, not because they don't have any other options, I think is maybe what you're saying. When you were saying that, I thought Undertaker, Michaels. I don't remember if Michaels was necessarily the face in that situation, or even Shawn Michaels versus Flair in his retirement. I don't think those count because they're the legend versus legend legacy matches. I think they're a little different. Like dream match is sort of a thing.
It's really hard. It's really hard to build face versus face. And part of that is as a wrestling fan, you're conditioned good guy, bad guy. I cheer good guy, boo bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like real caveman style of thinking. But this is different, and I don't know. I think MJF is going to win. The seeds seem to be planted to turn Cole heel. But shit, maybe Roderick Strong comes out and fucking attacks MJF in the match, and then Cole's like, fuck that, I'm not taking a win this way, and then he loses. You know what I mean? Like, he lets MJF get back up. And then maybe at the end, Cole and him are together. I don't know. Like, anything's possible. This is though, if you book right, and you have shit good, this is what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I can't sit here and tell you what's going to happen. I have no fucking idea. And they've done a fantastic job with this. This is one of their better booking jobs.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say best. Best. I mean, a couple of things pop into my head, but like this is easily one of the best I can remember. It's
probably commercially the most successful.
Oh, for sure.
The Hangman build.
Yeah, that was
when he was going to. That was incredible, and that's another one where he got the belt. Then it was just like, okay, now we don't know what to do.
And that was super. Like that was so long in the making.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's one thing they've shown is Tony can do the build. It's just the reign after the build is proved troublesome.
What do we do now? I don't know. Fight a murder bird.
Yeah, where's the murder bird? Somebody give me the murder bird. I think they've done a good job with MJF, but I think part of that is he's kind of not a face.
Did MJF have to face the murder bird once he won the title?
He did not face the murder bird.
Because that's kind of been a tradition.
Murder Bird, and then usually Jake Hager's in there too.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
and on the women's side, it's been Nyla.
Yeah,
like you win a women's title, you got to fight Nyla now.
Is Sheeta gonna fight Nyla soon? All in. All out, whichever one it is. All out. Okay, yeah, all
Why
out.
Not?
I'm excited for this match. I'm excited for the show.
She just got a promo talking about England and shit.
Who?
I thought she did.
Nyla?
Sorry. Yeah. I saw a promo for the last couple days.
I don't remember it. It sounds really familiar though. I wonder if maybe it's something she put on the tweet machine.
It was either on Rampage or on Collision.
Okay.
Had to be Rampage.
We were talking about England and shit.
Had to be Rampage because it was not Collision. I watched it all.
Okay.
I remembered it. It was my.
Okay.
It was the day after my wedding night, so I was totally watching it. Okay. Are we done talking about this?
I guess, yeah.
Leon, who's going to win that match? MJF or Cole?
I think that because they've made it seem like Cole's probably going to be doing the turning and stuff, I think MJF's actually going to be the shitbag and turn on him to keep his belt. That's what I think.
For once, I don't think they're going to do that because I think it would be too. I don't think they're going to do it. They also made a lot of money off this, so I'm excited to see it. I
hope they don't do that. Like, that's definitely a possibility. And I think that's what's so intriguing about this match is that we could see that. We could see that it's all
I think of all the outcomes of this match, that would be by far the worst. Having MJF just do it.
Yeah, like that's my thing is that like it would prove all of the things that MJF has been saying this whole time, that you can't trust anybody, that people are just gonna fuck you over, and all of that, he would be proving it right. And considering all of the time he's spent talking about his mental health and all that, it would make me cringe.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that.
See, I think he's going to, and he's gonna just revel in fucking rubbing everybody's nose in it.
Yeah,
like you bought all that, you bunch of stupid fucking idiots.
He's just done that so many times. That's the thing. It's possible. Which
is exactly why I think he's going right back to that well.
I can totally see where Leon's coming from.
I absolutely see him going right back to that well, but
for the record, Leon also hates MJF.
But it's also maybe it could just be like we're seeing him relapse, sort of like he realizes he can't trust Adam Cole, so he relapses, and maybe Adam Cole is still friends, and so now he's trying to like mend the relationship with MJF, and you have Roderick Strong like fucking.
I just think if you do that, you're at a point where you're gonna get your heels or your baby faces are gonna turn into heels when they fight MJF because they already are, and it's time to at least make him kind of a weird tweener. You know, like you remember when Steve Austin turned face, he wasn't a fucking face, he was a heel. We just liked him, and it's the same thing going on here.
Yeah.
You know, like he's a heel, but he can just change 3 or 4 things over the way he do stuff and kind of do what he's doing. And keep doing the fucking kangaroo kick. I think that's important too.
Which we have not seen yet.
God.
I can't. We're gonna get it, and I'm gonna love it.
I think he's going to retain the world title with the kangaroo kick.
I would pop. I would pop.
If
And I drink
do that-
Leon's tears.
If they do that, I might cry from laughter.
Town has a couple things here.
Yeah. Town is married. In case nobody
Town's
caught
married.
that.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Britt Baker had an interview where she was talking about how poorly received her match with Taya was, and how she was surprised by that because she didn't think it was that bad, and she thinks it's just the internet trolls trolling her to be dicks. I read that.
We're
today,
doing that again.
and I was just like, okay. And the match was bad. And they're both good. They just didn't click. I whatever.
It happens sometimes, man.
Yeah, and that's you just
Sometimes
kinda
you
gotta
just don't have chemistry with someone.
I look at a guy like Big Show, Kane, Randy Orton, these guys that have been just raked over the fucking coals over the years by the internet,
Mm-hmm.
and they just don't fucking care. You think Randy Orton gives a fuck what you say about him on Twitter? No, he don't give a fuck, which is awesome.
Dive.
And those guys are able to kind of put that past them and use it to like fuel their character, and I think she's trying to do that. I think she's trying to do that a little bit, but she's complaining about it. Go ahead, bud.
My one caveat to all that is when you talk about Orton, Kane, Big Show, yes, they got a lot of shit for some of the matches and the way that they do things, but they were still gaining the respect that other men wrestlers were getting. The women's wrestling, primarily in WWE, has been shit on for so many years, and because it's mainstream, there are a lot of wrestling fans out there who think that's all women's wrestling, and so they shit on it. And so, like, I'm not saying you're wrong that it was not a great match and that like it wasn't a great match. They just didn't click. But at the same time, I can see what Britt's saying and be like, yeah, I understand how you got to that conclusion because like you're expecting it. And so,
that makes sense. I just what I maybe wanted to say there was those guys didn't really respond to it, and she did. And sometimes when you respond to it, it amps up and gets worse. Yeah. And you are completely right. They're held to a completely different microscope than the male wrestlers are. It doesn't matter what you wear, how you look, this or that. You know, and if a female wrestler comes out and like one of her fingernails is painted the wrong color or something happens to her makeup, it's like, oh, did you see that fucking train wreck? So you are not wrong. You are not wrong. Mm-hmm. You're held under a completely different standard, which is bullshit. Mm-hmm. But I worry that that's just gonna.
And maybe she's just trying to bring attention to the fact that Ty Mello is a good wrestler and that she's
not Ty Mello, Taya Valkyrie.
Oh, Taya Valkyrie. I thought you were talking about Ty Mello.
No, Ty Mello hasn't wrestled in a while. She's having a child.
Yeah, but they had a. I thought you were talking about a far previous match.
No, that was a thing.
Okay.
That was one thing I read, and that one. Yeah, the other thing I read is that there may be somebody new coming to AEW. Mr. Adam Copeland, I believe his name is.
Yes, I have heard this.
And I think it's gonna fucking happen. Apparently, the rumor that's starting to build up is that he told WWE what he wanted, money wise and everything, and what he wanted to do, and they told him we can't do that. And so he said, "Okay, then I'm gonna go there." Do you bring him in? And I don't think he can be at Wembley because I don't think his contract's up.
His last
The
contracted match was last Friday, but he is not. He's still under contract until I think he said December.
No. September.
Or maybe it was September.
September 5th.
You'd be right. Yeah,
like September 5th. Yeah, so he'll be. I think he'll be there as soon as they can have him if he's going to sign. Do you put him with Christian?
Yes.
You put him against Christian?
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. Like either you put them in a program together, or they just be E and C for a little bit, or maybe you do both. Like
so fucking hard.
Why?
That'll pop so fucking hard.
Why not? E and
they
C
both come out there
against the Hardys. Not to say that would be a banger match, but like people would want to see it, or maybe not.
I'm just curious. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with him because I think that'd be a good get for them.
Yeah, but he's also getting up there, and he might just say fuck it.
I meant from more of a like a producer thing standpoint, kind of for his knowledge to kind of dip into what he's got going on. Mm-hmm. That one, yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty, and as soon as people said that that maybe FTR isn't going to be a couple, I'm like, oh well, just fucking bring.
We didn't talk about the FTR match. What the fuck?
We didn't. Did I miss it? What the fuck? I think
you did.
I think I skipped it because it was such a big match, and then I forgot to come back to it. Sorry, FTR. I'm sorry, Young Bucks. I know you watch this show. Please forgive me.
I don't know who's going to win that.
But I don't know.
It's going to be a fight. It's going to be incredible. Mm-hmm. So I don't care. Mm-hmm. The interview tonight doesn't make me wonder if they really are going to push for a FTR Punk against the Bucks in an Omega match, because that kind of is starting to feel, and that tension, like they had that weird tension, like they don't like each other, which I think is could build to that. I think FTR wins, but I think FTR might cheat.
Do it.
I hope not. I hope not, because I'd rather have a match like this end clean. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
It could also be they have a clean end and then they go crazy on him. And really on either side, but I would see FTR.
Do you take the belts off the Bucks though, or do you take the Bucks off of FTR? And do the Bucks even need the fucking belts? Mm-hmm. I don't think the Bucks need the belts. I think FTR needs them more than the Bucks.
I don't know.
Not that they all. I don't know.
My thing is, like last year we were complaining about the fact that FTR didn't have the titles, and they didn't really need them then. I don't think they need them now in the same way that they would have needed them, say, in WWE. Like, giving them the tag team titles was a big fucking deal. They've gotten themselves so over in so many different areas of the world that it's just like they are on the level of the Young Bucks. Not just from like a talent standpoint, but like from a popularity standpoint, in that they've put the time in and they've wrestled their matches all over the fucking world, and now
they're two of the best tag teams to ever do it.
Absolutely. Yes.
I mean, they're both top 7, maybe top tag teams. Let's think. Who'd be the best tag team of all time?
Dudley Boys.
No, fuck off. No way. I think it would be Arn and Tully.
Stop scratching my rug.
But they maybe didn't do it long enough. I mean, the Road Warriors would have to be on there, just for what they did in the 80s. And Leon's a Road Warrior mark, so he would agree with me. The Dudleys probably would have to be on there.
I would say top 10, personally.
Hardys probably would have to be on there.
I think Hardys and God, I think Hardys would be bigger, and even ENC would be bigger than, or higher up there than the Dudleys. Because as much as I love the Dudleys, I think
the only way I'm going to argue that with you is that the Dudleys kind of did it in ECW and the WWE. They won the WWF tag belts. ECW, they won WCW, they won TNA.
That is true.
They've won belts freaking everywhere, and the Hardys haven't really done that.
That's true.
They won a lot of them, but they don't have
they don't have the as nearly as long of a list. Yeah,
like I wouldn't put Edge and Christian on a top 10 list.
Really?
Because I don't think they did it long enough. I suppose
that's true.
I think the original demolition of Axe and Smash would be up there. You almost got to put Arn and Tully on it though, because they were so fucking good. FTR, Bulldogs, the British Bulldogs.
Oh yeah.
But again, they were kind of a blip in time. Heart Foundation was really fucking good.
Rockers.
See, but but they never really moved past teeny bopper mid card guys. You know what I mean? They never had that run with the tag belts.
I mean, they were going to, but then they didn't.
Because part of our problem is like we can't sit here and talk about tag teams from the 60s and 70s and most of the 80s because we don't fucking remember. You know,
like
Dick the Bruiser and the Crusher. Like sure they were great, but I don't know anything about them.
Anthony and Brody.
Like if you had to pick your top 5 tag teams, who the fuck would it be?
Oh god damn it. Somebody else go.
Because it would be, if I started 1, it would be the Young Bucks, which Leon's just going to throw something. He's rolling his fucking eyes at me. But I put the Bucks 1. 2, I think, would be Tully and Arn. 3 would be FTR. I'd probably put Demolition 4.
Jesus.
And I would put God, that's really fucking hard. I think the Road Warriors would have to be 5. I think that's how I would do it. Leon, how would you do it? Who you got?
You gotta have the Busters on there.
You gotta rank them from 1 to 5. You can't say they would be on there. You give me your number 1 and work your way down the list.
Okay. Right now, probably FTR 1. Give me Busters 2. Give me Heart Foundation 3.
They're really good.
Bucks 4. And guess we'd have to go. Yeah, I guess I'd have to go Road Warriors 5.
You gotta do it now, bud. We both did it.
Top of my head.
That was mine.
I'm going to say FTR top as well.
No research, minimal thinking.
Yeah,
same.
Pretty much. How we do everything here.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
FTR
research
FTR
is for
one.
nerds.
I do research. Well, I'm a nerd.
Nerd.
I can't argue with you on that. I really can't.
I love you. Okay, let's listen now, Leon. Put our quiet voice on.
FTR. Number 1. Number 2, I would say. No, not them.
Can I change my list? Number 1 would be the Brewd.
They did. I mean, they didn't win a lot of titles, but like they won them very many times. The Brewd. Can I just
FTR's 1?
Can I just do the Brewd for all 5 of them? FTR, Heart Foundation, number 2. I really love them. They were one of the few. DIY.
They were amazing.
I'm gonna say DIY number 3. I fucking loved DIY so much. They were
really good.
They were the ones that got me back into tag team wrestling. Lucha Brothers. See, I don't have any of these historical guys. So like, if it's before the 90s, I don't really remember them. No, I'm gonna say Hardys and then Lucha Brothers. Put Hardys at number 3, and then whatever else I said.
The Hardys are interesting. They did not make my top 5, and I don't think they would. I think they're top 10.
Yeah,
they're probably top 7. They'd probably be like down there a little bit. Yeah,
I did forget the Bucks. I think the Bucks would be up there. I was just kind of going in my head, like the Bucks.
There's so many teams that you like. You know, if you start dream booking stuff in your head, it's like, man, I want to see this team fight that team or that team fight that team, and it just kind of becomes this whole thing. But I do
think that son of a bitch. I do think that I think the Dudleys would be up there too, like 6 or 7.
I think they'd have to be. As
much.
Yeah, what are you doing with your phone? My word. I would agree with you. The Dudleys, the Legion of Doom, kind of for the same reason. You know who we forgot that I loved? Like one of my favorite tag teams as a kid? The fucking Steiner brothers.
Oh my god.
They were amazing. Holy shit, they were amazing. They had some really good matches. The Ding Dongs! No, not the Ding Dongs. I kid.
The Dicks.
Toxic Turtles.
Or the Johnsons. I don't remember what they were called. Probably the Johnsons.
I think they had both.
They were all dressed like dicks.
Harold and Rod. Harold and Rod Dick. And then Harold and Rod Johnson, because we don't have anything original.
It is Vince Russo. Oh.
You're Harry, and you're just Big Rod. Big Rod Johnson.
Do it, pal.
There's a lot of good tag teams. That's really fucking hard. But I think we're at a point though right now where we have some of the best tag teams that we've ever had.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's some people running around.
There are
like Santana and Ortiz 15 years ago would have been one of the top tag teams in either, 20 years ago, let's say, when WCW was still around. 25 years ago. Fuck, they've been in a business that long? Shit. When WCW was around, if they would have been on either brand, either one of those shows, they would have been tag team champions because they're that good. Even like the Best Friends, like these teams are good. Some of these teams that we look at are like not at the top. They're amazing. I just thought of something else from Collision. The Iron Savages.
Yeah.
Might be my favorite fucking team of all time. They're idiot bro powerlifters.
This doesn't surprise
and they drink pre-workout before they like do shit. And I'm like, if I had a fucking dollar for every time I saw somebody do that in the gym and then proceed to like fucking fail, then that's exactly what they did. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty fucking accurate.
Savage sauce, is that what they call it? Oh my god, they're so awesome.
They're great. But like there's a group of guys that could get them over.
Yeah.
Yes, that could really get them, and that's awesome that they're on Collision and they're getting some time,
That is a big thing that I appreciate about CM Punk is that he is taking the time to speak up for the people who haven't been getting a fair shot, like Ricky Starks. Like he has talked about in several interviews since he moved to Collision that he wants to bring up guys. He wants to bring up new people. Like he wants to bring up new faces. And I think that program that he did with the Bullet Club was a big thing for them. Like I think that got them on the map, and now they're just rolling. They're just fucking going.
Yep.
And to that extent, I just think CM Punk is not doing nearly as well as any of them, and maybe he doesn't care about that.
It's very possible.
Anyway.
Very, very possible. Do you have anything else exciting that we need to talk about from this week?
I don't think so.
I'm excited. That's all I know. What?
So the show coming up is pretty much it. There's not a whole lot else going on right now. That is what the wrestling world is talking about.
Aside from Cash Wheeler pistol whipping a dude. Or a lady. It's unclear.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He's going to Wembley. We're okay.
I really... yeah. It seems pretty clear that he is. But it also seems clear that Tony Khan probably has some... what's the word that I'm looking for? Contingency plans in place should he have to stay home.
Maybe they lose because of that.
Maybe.
But I don't know if he'd punish him for that necessarily. Vince would.
That's not really a Tony move.
Vince would punish everybody. You're all off the show because he did one thing. Even though you didn't do it, but you're the other side. Get off my show. You don't belong. They're all troublemakers.
Some guy walking past. You're off the show. Him. I wasn't on the show.
Like my new tech pal.
They did that with Braun Strowman and a child, so don't say that. Don't give him any ideas.
Again, Vince move though. That wasn't a Tony move.
Take the best tag team you have, and then have them job out to one guy and a kid. Oh,
who beat them? Who did? I know the story, but I don't remember who the champions were at the time.
Sheamus and Cesaro, the Bar.
Jesus. So stupid.
They were incredible.
They were.
They kicked ass. They were a really good tag team, and it was just like, we're just gonna do that for that? Holy fuck!
Sheamus and Cesaro.
Because they were building.
Sheamus and Cesaro.
They were building Braun to be a monster, and that's what they did. So that was. It's not good.
Did that kid ever get pinned?
We're gonna have him win the tag team belts with a child.
If the kid never got pinned, I think that he's still the champion.
They said he couldn't be champion because he had to go back to grade school.
They
literally said that. It was one of the referees' kids.
That's an absolute WWA move right there. Absolutely.
Yeah. In front of no people, but like they're doing that in front of a shitload of people. So
we could do that. I'm just saying, in front of their audience, not the best move.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
I don't know.
I think that's.
I got nothing else.
Okay.
Let's spend this thing.
I have been Bud Robinson. I just hit my headphones weird. This has been Leon Robinson and Town, Mrs. Town.
Town the curmudgeon.